The Alabama Crimson Tide, the second year under Kalen DeBoer.
In year two, with the way that defense played.
Every single year, we're talking about Alabama football being at the top of the top.
Who doesn't want to be a part of that ultimate top-end goal of, being at the top?
Quickly, it's intercepted. Gone from bad to worse in a hurry.
Pressure coming, and he goes down. And Alabama's got it.
Pressure immediately, and Beck is knocked down.
Legacy, the tradition, everything that's come through this program.
The tradition at Alabama.
It's a beautiful feeling.
Welcome everybody to another edition, another season of the Kalen DeBoer Show presented by Truckworks. I'm Chris Stewart, along with the head coach of the Alabama Crimson Tide. A little more comfortable 12 months ago as we were trying to get this all figured out for the opening game. And Coach, an exciting time always when you're getting ready to start a season.
Yeah, it is. It seems like it came fast, but it's also, there's a lot that's happened from the end of last year to where we're at now, and I'm just really proud of the steps we've taken. All these things that we're doing, whether it's winter, spring, summer, and now fall camp. It sets you up for the opportunity to go have success. It doesn't guarantee anything, but each step along the way, you can just see the possibilities that are out in front of us, and how we can find success in it.
You put your system in last year, but Coach, I've got to think this is the first time you're able to fully put in everything, both offense and defense, due to the fact there's some give and take in year one. You've got to try to make some things fit what young men can do, many of which you did not recruit or have any input. Yes, you love coaching them, but they weren't necessarily guys that all fit your system. How much easier is it as a staff to get across the teaching aspect here in year two now that you're able to go truly with what you want run?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of layers to that. I think there's a piece where, yes, you install, you bring in coaches with ideas and you have what you want to do offensively, defensively, special teams. But I think a lot of coaching is evolving with the times and the nature of the game. College football looks different now than it did 5 or 10 or 15 years ago. And then I think there's also the evolution of even your roster and evolution of the things that you're doing one year and how, how even if this was year 3 or year 4 or year 5, you would continue to evolve. No team is exactly the same. Sure. And as much as you want to do the things that you do, you keep evolving with the times and your personnel. And so that evolution is made easier with continuity, knowing who you have. And so it's been great to just see the guys take it, run with it, see our coaches continue to just keep finding better answers. There's good answers. There's a lot of ways that a play can be successful, a lot of plays that can be successful. You're probably trying to make sure you don't call the ones that don't have a chance or people can check out of it, that the guys on the field. But our coaching staff just continue to keep the pedal down on trying to find ways to be better and challenging our guys to do the same as well.
The reality is everybody was new last year, even if they'd been here before. Mm-hmm. This year, though, you have some of your returning players. Talk to us about veterans that you're really leaning on to teach the new guys as you get started in season 2.
Well, there's a lot, and that's where I get nervous talking about 1 or 2 or 3 guys because it's more than that. And a year ago, we had 8 seniors. We had the 3 specialists, the 3 on defense, and 2 on offense, the 2 tight ends. And so a couple of guys that moved on from a NFL standpoint with the 3 guys, Booker and Milroe and Jihad. So you lose those guys, and then obviously there's some guys with the portal and things like that too. But it's the guys that now I think there's 17 seniors. A few of these guys that came in that are new to our program actually were seniors or are seniors as well. But you're talking about 17 versus 8, and so there's a lot of guys. And I think that's the strength of our team right now is we're not just counting on 1, 2, 4 captains maybe that are leading, that got a strong voice. We have collectively a group of guys who really care, guys who stuck, through this and have some guys have been here, a Deontay Lawson, a Tim Keenan, and guys have been here for a long time, and understand what this place is all about, what we're going to see throughout the season, and how to get it done. And so they've done a great job of taking on the guys that maybe are newer to the program, and it's been fun seeing those guys all interact and push each other.
Well, Coach, as you and I visit, we've had about 3 weeks of practice, a couple of scrimmages. Let's look back at some of the fall camp highlights presented by CB&S Bank.
The Kalen DeBoer Show is brought to you by the University of Alabama, where legends are made. Coke Zero Sugar. Tackle game day with a great taste of Coke Zero Sugar.
Welcome back to the Kalen DeBoer Show, presented by Truckworks. Coach, one of the guys you did bring with you, or ultimately decided to follow you, I should say, would be more appropriate, from University of Washington a year ago. Great young man. I've had the chance to be around a little bit. Germie Bernard, obviously a terrific player, but among the things that's made him such a great leader seems to be just who his personal makeup is, or what his personal makeup is.
How long of a show we got to talk about?
As long as you want.
Okay. Yeah, this guy, he's special to me, in a lot of ways. And I actually recruited him out of high school when I was going to Washington, and just the circumstances, it's a long story, but he ended up going to Michigan State for a year there and coming back to us, and now following down here. And I guess just that trust right there, really 2 times, one to come with me at Washington, but then to come and do it again here at Alabama, that's special to me, that loyalty that a guy has. But seeing his growth and seeing him the first year just try to do his thing as far as being a great teammate, working hard. You could see at the end of the year the playmaking that I knew he was capable of, but just working with the quarterbacks, and now that transferring over to year 2 where he's not just working in, he's leading the charge. Right. And it's leading the charge with his group, his position group. It's leading the charge offensively, and he's one of many great guys on our leadership group that speak up, speak out, tell you how it is. They don't want to have any regrets, and Germie would be one of those guys that is at the front and center of all of that. And as you mentioned, he's not just a great player, but he is a phenomenal human being, and just super proud of what he's accomplished, and rooting for all these guys, but certainly rooting for Germie to have a big year.
It's natural that there's a ton of conversation about the quarterback position with the fact that you're going to have a new guy there regardless of who it is. However, talk about the impact that someone like Germie, who's been around your system for a while, who has been around the university for a year now, what that means to helping whoever is taking snaps at that position.
Well, even now we get into year 2 and we kind of keep progressing deeper into the playbook and so forth. A lot of these things are in a family of concepts, a family of the route tree and additions, the tangents we go off in, and now in year 2 that he's seen. And so even those installations and the details, he can talk to not just the quarterbacks, but he can sit in his position room, and that room gets better. Right. Just because they're talking through stuff he's experienced. And so his leadership, but also just his knowledge of the offense and the details have helped us, certainly grow quicker than I think it would be if he wasn't here.
We love talking about him, but it's even better if you hear from him. Let's go all access with Germie Bernard.
Looking, Milroe firing left side, has a man open. It is caught. caught. It is a touchdown, Alabama. Germie Bernard.
My name is Germie Bernard. I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada. I went to Liberty High School. I play wide receiver. It kind of just came naturally as I, started going in my development of football. I was always playing like running back and safety growing up. And then as I got older, I started to switch, like 8th grade, I started to switch to like receiver and DB. And then when I got to high school, it was just really straight receiver. And I just kind of started perfecting my craft with that. Because, who doesn't like scoring touchdowns and getting the crowd lit?
Trying to get to the edge, does. 5-4, 3-2-1, touchdown, Alabama.
This is the pinnacle of football, right? And, I never thought I would be here at Alabama. Like, I never was recruited by them. I shut down my recruitment my sophomore year of high school, and I was committed to Washington. But Coach DeBoer got the job here, and then Coach Shep came. And when they did make that decision, they said they wanted me to come. Of course, I wasn't going to hesitate. Like, who doesn't want to come and practice against the best, play against elite competition? And, it's Alabama. Like, the spotlight is always on them. So, if you go out there and do what you're supposed to do, it's kind of hard for you not to make it.
Downfield's got a man. Bernard, catch made. Touchdown, Alabama. 30.
Yeah, so just going into my second year here at Alabama, the fans have been really great to me. They surprisingly know who I am outside of football and know me, as a person. And I feel like they watch the interviews and stuff that I do and, talk about just the character that I am outside of football. And I'm just really thankful to, have a support system like you guys. And, I'm really excited for this season and to make you guys proud. So Roll Tide.
The Kalen DeBoer Show is brought to you by Coke Zero Sugar. Tackle game day with a great taste of Coke Zero Sugar.
The Kalen DeBoer Show is presented by Truckworks. I'm Chris Stewart. Coach, I know you hadn't been asked about Ryan Grubb, so let's go ahead and get that out of the way. But having Coach back in Tuscaloosa, where he spent spring a year ago with you, and of course had been with you in Washington for a while, a guy you know well, a guy you have great respect for, heading up the offense as OC.
Yeah, we talked a lot about Ryan Williams being 17 years old. Brian Grubb, and that has been almost as, and I've got asked the question so many times, and I always referred to kind of a general number of years, so I just did the math, and this is year 13 that I've coached with Coach Grubb. And I think there's a trust element, obviously, that only comes over the course of time. And, there's a trust in just the work ethic, the trust in the person and the character and the leadership and, scheme and details and how that looks in that room, not just, for him, but his coaching staff and, how that's going to progress and down to the players. So he's just a great offensive mind. And, I always feel like things happen for a reason. And, him being back here, it's just been really, it's been streamlined for a lot of things, for a lot of reasons because of him and just how he's engulfed himself into the team and the staff, and then also how the team and the staff have embraced him. And it's been fun seeing that whole thing, just the organization there just continue to move forward and the relationships continue to be stronger. Both in the staff room and as an offensive unit.
Well, thanks to Red Diamond, we go all access with Coach Ryan Grubb.
Been really fortunate to learn from a lot of different styles. And, for me, I think the work ethic and stick-to-itiveness, the consistency of the approach is one of the things that is the most important to me. So just trying to teach young players or any player how to stay with that process and the water against a rock mentality and show up every day, be the same guy, and just keep building on each day. And I think that sometimes that consistency part is a key term that kind of gets pushed to the side a little bit. You talk about all the glorious parts, and a lot of times I talk, with guys that success and the great ones, when you really look at it and you dig into it, a lot of times it's actually pretty boring. I think honestly, like if guys were looking at very, very successful people's lives, they would consider it to be somewhat boring. I would imagine if you dug into Coach Saban's life, he was, man, you want to talk about a guy who's committed. Like, he showed up every day. This is what I'm doing from A to B, and he didn't stop till the job was done. And it was unrelenting fashion. Kobe Bryant, guys like that were, really devoted to what they wanted to be great at. And KD's no different. He's as consistent a guy as you're going to see. So I've been really lucky that way to try to filter that message to the guys and understand the approach that they have to come and have in the building every single day.
The Kalen DeBoer Show is brought to you by Coke Zero Sugar. Tackle game day with a great taste of Coke Zero Sugar.
Coach, I know you're all about developing players, whether that means they're going to play professionally or whether it's simply going to mean they get their degrees, move on to another area of life. But obviously it's very special when they get their name called on draft night. 7 players taking the NFL draft from the Crimson Tide this year.
Yeah, it was. And just getting a chance to spend 1 year with these guys, it came and gone really, it was so quick. But these guys were the heart and soul of our team in so many ways, and just seeing them getting their opportunities. And now, as they go through their season and off-season kind of preparation here, seeing them have the moments that have already come for them, whether it be preseason games or just kind of seeing the direction that they're going, it's really cool. So I'm happy for these guys. We'll be following them just like we would any other alumni.
From Tuscaloosa to the National Football League, let's go all access with the Crimson Tide.
The Philadelphia Eagles select Jihad.
The Kalen DeBoer Show is brought to you by Ford. Visit your local Ford dealer, proud sponsor of the Crimson Tide.
Coach, the segment we always do on this show is What's Next. In this case, it's What's First, the opener down in Tallahassee against Florida State program.
Yeah, it's that time, and our guys have done such a great job of focusing on what they are in the moment they're in, what they can control. I've just been proud of how they focused on the practices, not getting ahead of themselves and looking to Florida State, but that's that time. And we've been working on some plans as a staff and incorporate that into the practices here at the end of last week. And so it's fun thinking about what that's going to look like, but not getting ahead of ourselves. There's still just a lot of work that's got to be done these upcoming days leading to kickoff. But it's going to be, we know, a great environment there. It's probably going to be hot, right? We got some heat here the last few days. Fall camp was a little bit, on the lighter side here in the South there the first couple of weeks, but our guys are doing a good job making sure we're on top of all of that, and it's going to be a fun atmosphere, and we're just focused on us playing our best.
Looking forward to it, Coach. Again, Doak Campbell Stadium, 2:30 Central kick. ABC will televise it. Our radio coverage on the Crimson Tide Sports Network begins at 11:30. Show's presented by Truck Works. For Coach Kalen DeBoer, I'm Chris Stewart. Thanks for joining us. Roll Tide, everybody.
The Kalen DeBoer Show is brought to you by the University of Alabama, where legends are made. Coke Zero Sugar. Tackle game day with a great taste of Coke Zero Sugar.